I also want to thank Rabbi Yosef. He does a great job. Alright? Shalom, a good moed. I want to thank Moshe Hamburg and his wife for the hospitality. I want to thank the cook, whoever did it. Okay, there you go. When you come to the Shia next week, bring whatever's left over. All right. And I also want to thank my brother-in-law, Nassim, for giving me material what to speak about. Tonight, as we heard, it's 200 years since the Rebbe was nifter. And we also heard that who heard about Rabbeinu Zal beforehand and what's happening now, and all of a sudden there's so much information going about, so much talk about Rabbeinu Zal. What's really going on? And you have to kind of put it in perspective. 200 years ago, Rabbeinu Zal had a couple of hundred students that were spread out throughout the Ukraine. And he said, there will come a time then the world will want me very, very much. The world is going to be misgageya and longing and wanting me. It's going to happen. Here's a guy who lives in the middle of Ukraine, no communications, right? He says in a couple of hundred years, whenever it's going to happen, people are going to talk about Rabbi Nachman. Now, you either have to be one of the worst egomaniacs in the world, or you have to be a tzaddik emes, one who knows what he's talking about. Because he said something, and it's a promise. And what he said really reflects on everything else the Rebbe taught. The Rebbe taught there's no years. The Rebbe taught you can always turn to Hashem. The Rebbe taught Simcha. The Rebbe taught his poitedus. The Rebbe said, I made a promise. If you come to my tzin, I'll give some stocker. Say the ten kapitlach, I'll take you out of Shol Tachtis. I mean, a man says something, either he's worth what his word is, or you're in trouble. The Rebbe proved that his word is worth everything in the world. 50 years ago, a little over actually, 53 years ago, I got into Breslov, Baruch Hashem, thanks to my father-in-law, Shia Rosenfeld. And we davened in the Stiebel in Borough Park, Fort Hamilton Parkway, 52nd Street. It was a Chassidische Stiebel, a Chuster Stiebel. And I got into Breslov, and my grandfather, who learned in Kovna Yeshiva, had no idea what Chassidus was all about, let alone Breslov. What is it? Who is it? Who heard of it? And whatnot. So he takes my tikkun akali and he goes into the shul, and he starts asking this Chassidish Stiebel, the people, what is this? Who is this? Nobody could answer him except the guy who gave the Shia Mishnayos. He looks at it. Oh yeah, this is the Umen Chassidim, the Toite Chassidim. That's the only thing he knew about Breslov. Growing up in Borough Park, wherever it was that we went, Breslov, they had no idea what it was, who it was, nothing. 50 years ago. We're not talking 200 years ago. We're not talking about when there was people interested in Hasidus. There was still many Hasidus around. People were looking and searching. We're talking about a year post World War II, when there's nothing going on in the world. No, what's Breslov? Nothing. Maybe Bechlal there were 150 Breslov Hasidim in the world at that time. Maybe. Left over from the Holocaust and whatnot. There were about 10 in America, about 100 in Eretz Israel, about 30, 40 in Russia that were trapped there, and another 10, 15 that were stuck in the DP camps. This is what's going on. And now today, as we heard, there's more promotion about the Rebbe in the last 200 hours than you have in the last 200 years. It's an amazing thing. And it brings things into perspective to try and figure out what the Rebbe is talking about. Rosh Hashanah, somebody came to me and spoke about, so what does it mean 200 years from the Rebbe? 200 years, what does it mean? And I said to him, it's a Mishnah. It's a Mishnah. In Isurei Hana, when things are forbidden to have Hana from Truma, for instance, you can't take it unless it's bottled in 100. If the Truma gets mixed up, you have to take off 100 times as much in order for it to be kosher. Our law is bottled b'masayim. Our law, fruits of the first 3 years of a tree, in order for it to be kosher, if you have an apple from a tree of Arla, unless you have 200 kosher apples, the whole thing is awesome. B'masayim. And that's really what the Rebbe is all about. The Rebbe goes up every day. Every minute he keeps on going up to a higher madrega and a higher madrega and an even higher madrega. It's 200 years that the Rebbe has been climbing up assets. Just remember that he said before he passed away in this world that I've gone as far as any human being can go in the body. I can't go up any more madregas, so I have to be nifta. It's a Succos Haran. So the Rebbe was nifta. Now he can go up madrega after madrega after madrega, and the Rebbe is in the highest stratospheres in heaven. Stratospheres, right? You're the English expert, right? So he's in the highest stratospheres in heaven, and it's 200 years. Somebody once asked me, he says, what do I know about the Rebbe? I read what he passed away 180 years ago. This was 20 years ago. And I said to him, you don't know the Rebbe from 180 years ago, because then only 200-300 people knew the Rebbe. He says, what you have now, that you, wherever you are able to connect to the Rebbe, is because the Rebbe went up so many madrigas, he can now reach down even to us, where we are in this world. Now it's 200 years. The Rebbe has been going up and up, so he can reach even to me. And he speaks even to me. And he tells me, you want to be a Jew? This is the way you can do it. Like he said, there'll be a time when people will ask for Rabbi Nachman. He also told us about his spoiledus, about Tikkun Abris, about Simcha, and about every other lesson we have in Kutim Moran and Sipur Maisius and all of this. The Rebbe is speaking to us. It's not just that he spoke and said the lesson. He's speaking to us. This is what it means, 200 years. Orla, we have a chance now. Tuf Reish, 1840. Tuf Reish, there was a lot of talk about Mashiach. The Zohar says in Pashas Vayera that in the year Tuf Reish, 5600, there's going to be his Galus Elikuz, there'll be new inventions and new things coming out to make life easier for people. And in increments of 6 to 10 years, there'll be improvements. Every 60 years, there'll be a total change. 1840 was when they started with the wires, with electricity, with telephones and whatnot. In 1900, they started with the cars and with the radio and with the planes. 1960 was the space age. Who knows what 2020 will be? But whatever's happening, you see different things that are changing. So Shnas Tuf Reish, 1840, there were people saying that Moshiach will come and there'll be a tremendous koyach coming into the world. Reb Nosson said no. Moshiach will not come that year. If you talk about him that he's coming, he's not going to come then. He'll come before, he'll come after, he's not going to come then. What then? What's the greatness then of telling us about Shnas Tuf Reish? He says it's possible for a person, if he wants to undertake something in Avodas Hashem, that he will now have the koyach to complete it. That's what Rav Nosson said about 1840. Now it's 200 years since the Rebbe was nifta. Right now, Orla is bottled b'masayim. Rabbi Sai, we were given a gift to live till this year, to be able to witness the koyach of Rabbeinu Zal going out over the world. It's phenomenal. I see it all over, wherever I travel. It's absolutely amazing, the koyach of the Rebbe, how he reaches out and picks everyone. Rashi brings in Parshas Nitzavim. He says, "V'shava Hashem Elokecha shvuscha v'richamecha." Kibbutz Goliath is hard before the Eibishter Kaviyachol, because he's got to go around and pick each one out individually from wherever they are in order to bring them back to Hashem. And Kaviyachol, this is what the Eibishter is doing. He's doing it through his agency of the Tzaddik. The Tzaddik is with us. The Tzaddik is there for us. The Tzaddik is telling us we can do it. Be'ezah Hashem, let us be mischazik in avodas Hashem. Let us be mischazik in learning the Rebbe's Svarim. Let us be mischazik in his oidedus. Right? And this way, no question about it, everything else that the Rebbe said, right? I can do what Mashiach can do, but to him they listen, me they don't. So now we'll listen to the Rebbe. How do you like that? Right? It'll be even better. And we'll get things, we don't need Mashiach, right? They want Mashiach now, we don't need Mashiach. We got Rabbeinu Zal to tell us, no, Chas v'Shalom, of course we need Mashiach. Shouldn't take it the wrong way. It's just that we have Rabbeinu Zal telling us what Mashiach is going to tell us. We have Rabbeinu Zal already telling us we're ahead of the game. That's our difference, that's our advantage. We're ahead of the game because we know what we're really supposed to do when Mashiach comes. Hashem should help, we should take it to heart, learn the Rebbe's form, right, from Aleph to Tov, from beginning to end, Kut Moran, L'maisi, Sefer Amidas, Sichas Moran, and everything else that we have to learn, and Be'ezah Hashem will be Zoicha, that this Hoshana Rabbah should be a Piska Tova for everyone. Everyone should have a Yeshua Shema and a Gula Shlema, and we should see Bias HaMashiach and a Gula Shlema, B'Meda, B'Yameinu, Amen. You didn't kiss the hand. If it doesn't feed you, you don't have to kiss the hand.
I think you'll do it.